Today we're at Key West Cemetery, and there's quite a few quirky headstones, some history, and some other interesting things to check out. So we're going to walk around a little bit and see what we can find. Memory of the victims of the disaster of the U.S. Battleship Maine in Havana Harbor, 1898. So for the first grave, we're going to try and find the oldest grave, or two graves in the cemetery. And they should be up here. All right, we found them. Two oldest graves in Key West, James Sawyer and Captain John H. Sawyer. They were moved to their present location from the first graveyard that was destroyed in the 1846 hurricane. John Sawyer died 1829. Captain John H. Sawyer died 1843. They're only 32 and 41 years of age. So Duncan Cameron, he was a Scottish foreman for the construction of the Key West Lighthouse in 1847. His stone was carved here in Key West and signed by Davis. And a very normal sight in Key West is there are chickens and roosters everywhere. All right, we are at Captain Francis Watlington. He was an early pilot and wrecker. His family lived in Key West's oldest house at 322 Duval Street. And apparently he was a member of the Masons. Next grave we're at is Mary Nevarro and her daughter Rosa. This is the grieving mother grave. Maternal angel is admonishing her daughter to stay away from the window. Legend has it Rosa died from a fall. What may be natural flaws in the marble appear to be tears. And it does, really. As you can see, almost all the burials are above ground because of the high water table. And the island's bedrock is just porous limestone and sits just 2 to 3 feet below the surface. So most bodies go into the above ground concrete vaults like this and are stacked family tombs. When the vault fills, older remains are pushed to the back or bottom and new ones go on top. Some plots hold 10 to 15 people over generations. There's a few very old graves, pre-1880s, that were dug in, but they're often flooded during storms and are now sealed or raised. During Hurricane Irma in 2017, parts of the cemetery flooded so badly that caskets floated, proving the above-ground system is still the only practical way. So the next one we're going to try and find here is Sloppy Joe Russell. Should be right up here. But he was pretty much a legend in Key West. He was a charter boat captain for even people like Ernest Hemingway. He was a rum runner during the Prohibition, and he was the owner of the iconic Sloppy Joe's bar that opened legally in 1933. And he was actually Ernest Hemingway's close fishing buddy and drinking pal as well. So let's see if we can find it here. Still remains elusive at the moment. All right, we found him. It's Joseph and his wife. Key West legend. Some of these must be pretty old, sunken in. So for a few more, one here is a good one. I told you I was sick. BP Roberts. And the other, I'm just resting my eyes. It's an extraordinarily beautiful mausoleum. And the chicken's coming out to say hi. So the next one is an interesting family. It's the Otto family. And we're gonna go and check those out here. So this family were noted doctors, pilots, and artists that descended from Dr. Joseph Otto, who emigrated from Prussia. The most notable of these, everybody knows the movie Chucky. So this is Robert Eugene Otto, that had Robert the doll and was the inspiration for Chucky. That is in a museum here in Key West, credited with mysterious abilities. So that doll is apparently pretty haunted. Who knows? Probably not. This family even has graves for their 3 dogs. And a grave for their, probably a key deer. So the pet deer is buried here as well. So that is the Otto family. One more on the list today. And that should be right up here. So this is General Abe Sawyer. This was Key West's famous 40-inch tall midget who requested burial in the grave of a full-size man. So I think that wraps up Key West Cemetery for today. So we'll see you guys on the next one.